Welcome to the Fighting Irish Faithful Show, Volume 140, Season 5, Episode 21. And your host is under the weather. But that's okay, we're still doing a show. A little grandpa's cough medicine here, and some hot water takes care of things. But yes, this is the Fighting Irish Faithful Show. I am Joe at Faithful_Irish on the X. Glad you are making me part of your day. Hopefully my voice is a little deeper, a little octave lower. It doesn't sound too nasally and irritating. Lot to talk about. We did not do a post-game show because was feeling ill, and we killed Florida State. But we got to talk about Florida State a little bit. The rankings just came out. Spoiler alert, Notre Dame's number 8. USC is going on probation, which is fun. We got a Virginia game going on this Saturday. Last home game. But we're going to start with this other topic first, and hence our somber music here. Gerry Faust, head coach of Notre Dame, passed away yesterday at the age of 89. I had mixed feelings about it. Obviously, I'd clearly never met the man, but he was a coach of the Irish, and definitely was that transition period, and did not have a good record per se. It's around that Ty Willingham, Bob Davie kind of record. But I don't think anyone could question Gerry Faust's love for Notre Dame, his passion for the Irish, and just an overall good man and a molder of men. So felt necessary. We need to talk about Gerry Faust tonight, and not that we're sending him off to anything. I pray he's in heaven, obviously, but yeah, he passed away with a record of 526. And from 1981 to 1985. So Red Snapper's not with us yet, but we'll just go away with that. Now what's interesting is Coach Faust was the head coach of Archbishop Moeller High School in Ohio from 1962 to 1980. Throughout that time, he had a record of 178 wins, 23 losses, and 2 ties, for a .877 record. It's pretty impressive. Then he was hired as Notre Dame's head coach, kind of a gamble. Now what's funny is he wins his first game against LSU, and then Notre Dame is ranked number 1 in the country, and then we lose after that, and then, so on and so forth. So, but yes, definitely an honorable man, a good man, and he had the fortitude and the courage and the pride for Notre Dame to lower his ego and resign, not force Notre Dame to fire him after his 5th year, and he stepped down at the end of the season in 85, which then brought in Coach Holtz. So Coach Faust, that you are the toast of the night. We're naming the show after you. We hope you rest in peace, and may perpetual light shine with you as you are with our Lord and Savior. So thank you, Coach Faust, for everything very much. All right, let's move on. Unless someone else has got to say anything. Red Snapper's in the house now. What's up, brother?
What's up? What's up? Dude, you are under the weather. Wow.
No, what are you talking about? I felt like my voice is just nice and deep. It's always this way.
You got your Barry White voice?
This is my Barry White voice. Yeah, no, we got hot water, honey, and some scotch here. So that's what's keeping us going.
Good old hot tub.
Good old. But yeah, Coach Faust passed away, which kind of is weird. There's a lot of other cool things we can talk about too tonight, but definitely wanted to start and lead off with that. So, all right, let's go over to Fivers, who was our sound check man prior to. You can come off mute if you want. Otherwise, we're going to go straight to Luis, who's going to wake us up out of our quietness here. Fivers, what's up?
Luis can go. He's our spokesperson. He can go first.
He's our front man, technically. All right, Fiver, the man for I don't know where Fivers lives, but let's pretend he's.
Deferring to the front man.
I yield my time to the man from Reno.
Exactly.
Luis, what's up, brother?
What's up, guys? How's it going, man? First, belated Veterans Day to all you that serve our country.
Amen.
Any of you did, I salute you. I condone you. I respect you. There was a moment in my life where I tried to join the Navy, and I had to pass the ASVAB and drop a little bit of weight and did all that shenanigans for them to tell me I couldn't go.
Okay.
So, yeah, I know how hard and difficult it is. And then, so on that note, I just want to tell everybody I respect you guys to the fullest. Now, I don't know if some of you heard, Feinbaum blocked me.
Really?
Oh, yeah, he told me to go bang my head against the wall because I got on his ass about him being all soft on Kelly. And I told him, what was he expecting? Kelly to be different, anything different at LSU? And then he kind of got mad. He's like, well, he did win Alabama. Yeah, we're not his players. And then he blocked me.
Goodness gracious. LSU fans are throwing bottles at their own field. You know what I'm saying?
But our team needs to, I hope Marcus Freeman realizes that this committee is going to hold an NIU loss pretty extensive until we win out and we prove a point that after that, we did what we were supposed to do and we handle our own business. At the same time, I can't wait to host a game at Notre Dame, our weather, our field, our climate, and let's see what you SEC schools are really made of. I don't care who we get. Bring them. Bring them all day, every day at Notre Dame, and we're going to show you what real football is under the weather, under the lights, under the cold, under everything, because we are Notre Dame.
That's right.
Every day I'm Notre Dame. I live and breathe and eat it. I know what I want, I know what I'm worth, and I know what I'm going after, and that's Notre Dame football.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's interesting. Like right now around us, like if I just look at our quote unquote neighbors on the rankings tonight, we're 8th. Tennessee's below us at 7th. And then above us at 9 is Miami right now, who dropped 5 after losing to Tech, which was fun. Bama jumps up to 10. Ole Miss jumps up huge after beating Georgia at 11. What kind of sucks is they dropped Boise 1 by doing all that shuffle, which I think is stupid because Boise has a close loss to the number 1 team, Oregon. So, but I mean, you know, there's still a few games left for all these teams and then the conference championships and some of that stuff. So I expect Notre Dame to keep rising. And then I think in 2 weeks when IU and Ohio State play, that'll kind of sort some of that out too, to say which one's the poser and which one is the, the real king there to play Oregon in the Big Ten championship. But you're 100% right. I think everyone is kind of wringing their hands together and going, what's the warm weather team we're going to get in South Bend? You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I want. I really would like that for it to be something different. And above all, it's just that, I'm just bothers me that you got BYU up there when I saw that game. Yeah. And boy, they got a Mormon or a baby Mormon or a big Mormon guy that just gave them a blessing because he blessed them all right. Because they don't believe in angels, I don't think so. Because I wasn't an angel that threw that flag. But
I mean, BYU is ranked 19th in Sagarin. We're 5th, in case anyone cares. Surprisingly, their strength of schedule is better than ours quite a bit. Their strength of schedule per Sagarin is 34. So they and right in front of them in Sagarin is Louisville at 18. So I think that's why I like Sagarin, because it's all math.
Yeah. So what you call it? So I did post something. I was crazy on Saturday on caffeine, and I thank you guys for like giving me a shout out and reposting and going crazy with me. Like, hey, but look, I can't wait for USC because I'm gonna be a fool out there. I'm gonna enjoy my vacation. I got my boys' jerseys, custom-made jerseys coming in already. I got the chains coming in, and I can't wait to see all of you at USC land, and let's take over, Irish fans.
I hope so. I mean, SC's that we can talk about that real quick. they're not leaving the state of California now for the rest of the season. They have Nebraska at home, then they go up to the Rose Bowl to play UCLA, and then they're back at home to face us. So they're not leaving their comfort area code there. I don't know what that is, 310 Red Snapper. I don't know, but anyway, they're not leaving the area at all. And so, whereas we got a home game, they were going to New York, they were going all the way out to LA, true Notre Dame fashion. So from coast to coast, we don't give a shit. We're going to play you wherever we need to. But yes, we're ranked number 8th in the playoffs. And right now we're in position definitely to host one of those home games, which is awesome.
Amen. All right, I'll chime out. Let everybody else talk. I'll listen to you guys.
No, it's all good, Luis. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. The spokesman for the Fighting Irish Faithful show. All right. Red Snapper, how was work today? Was it good?
Oh, busy. It's fun getting all these move-ins, move-outs, paperwork galore. I'm surprised I don't get more paper cuts than I get.
It's not even the end of the month here,
But what's your biggest surprise on the new rankings?
I don't really have too many surprises per se. I haven't really stared at it. I kept seeing updates from people like, oh, we're this and IU's too high. And if the only one that really jumped off the page, just high level, seeing 4 Big Ten teams in the top 5, I think is odd.
Yeah.
Penn State at number 4 seems stupid. BYU at 6, I don't know. I haven't really watched them at all. Tennessee, I don't have a problem.
By Utah, so I thought Utah always plays well near the end of the year, and
yeah, but they don't have a good record, I don't know.
They don't, but they usually put it together by the end of the year. I mean, they had a huge upset against SC a couple of years ago, and that was a big deal. But they barely squeak past Utah. Utah is going to have Colorado, I think, this week. That's going to be a good game.
Let's see here. Yeah, Utah and Colorado. Yep, that's coming up.
That should be a good game.
That's a big noon game.
We'll see. The irony is the fact that the Virginia beat Pitt, which was a top 25 team when they beat them. So now this week has a little bit more weight for us.
Pitt's not ranked at all anymore.
So as long as we beat Virginia, who beat a top 25 ranked Pittsburgh team last week, it's going to give a little bit more to our strength of schedule. It's going to give a little bit more to the consideration. And then hopefully Army stays undefeated when we see them in 2 weeks. And that's just going to add. I think Penn State is going to drop, especially if Indiana continues to win out.
Well, and Army has the week off, so they're in a bye week right now, so
nice.
They don't play anybody. Okay. So Army should stay where they're at in the top 25 after the week. So, I mean, to me, it really just comes down to Notre Dame is again in control of their own destiny, and you just got to win, baby. And we can't help the performance of our opponents. I mean, it's nice to see Louisville ranked right now, stuff like that. Everyone thought Florida State was going to be good. People thought Georgia Tech might be good, so we really only have 2 wins over teams that are in top 25 of Sagarin, right? And that's Louisville and Texas A&M. So, I mean, it is what it is. And I mean, at least Texas A&M is also in this ranking as well. They're 15th. I there's never been a way to really predict the committee and what they're thinking and how, where, and why. So we just have to kind of roll with it. The head scratcher for me is Penn State and BYU, why they are so high. I'm not going to say they don't deserve to be ahead of Notre Dame, but seeing them at 4 and 6 respectively, I thought was strange. So,
yeah, I think Tennessee is definitely should be in front of us. Definitely Indiana. BYU, I'm questioning only because of the level of their competition, but I think you answered that with their strength of schedule.
Yeah, it's higher than ours right now. Yep.
That's probably the only thing they've got other than an undefeated record this year. So
Yeah, well, it's just something we don't have. So, I mean, that's why I'm like,
which is
well,
our own fault.
it is
So
our own
I
fault, of
like
course.
I like that we're ahead of Miami. You know,
Please.
I thought that was perfect. So yeah, all in all, I mean, because then you get to the two lost teams, and then I'm actually the biggest surprise for me is how low Boise State is at 8-1.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the typical no love to the Mountain West kind of situation. They also had a closer game per se against Nevada. I think,
Then they should have. Yeah.
yeah. So, and I caught the end of that game after the Notre Dame game, and I didn't think Boise was doing anything bad per se. Um, I just didn't see them doing anything spectacular other than hand the ball to
Yeah.
the Heisman candidate. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Exactly.
no disrespect to Jantry. It's just, it's that's their big weapon and they're going to use it. And, they don't care that the opponent knows.
Exactly.
All right, let's move on. Who are we going to next, Red Snapper?
Let's go to Fivers if Fivers wants to
Yeah,
jump
Fivers
back in.
can jump back in. We talk about LSU getting their ass kicked.
Loved it.
We could talk about the Florida State game, how we killed them. I will say this in my Dos Leprechauns pregame chat, and it should also be out there live on the pregame show that Nate and Jason put out on Dos Leprechauns. So go check us out there. He was asking for score predictions, and I typed in both into the chat of the live show and in our group text that Notre Dame was going to win 50-3.
Nice.
Yeah, I got pretty fucking close. The Irish win 52-3. The pick six at the end, gave me bragging rights there. But yeah, no, Notre Dame killed them. We were successful on 64% of our scoring drives. Our rushing attempts per touchdown was 8 flat. Yards per point was 8.7. I mean, it's gaudy and delicious when you're getting underneath 10 for both of those stats. And let's go talk about yard points, total yardage. Notre Dame amassed 453. Florida State had 208. I mean, we had almost that in rushing alone. So,
yeah.
So Florida State is not good. They've got some serious problems, and I didn't really see that they were like just doing dumb, boneheaded things. They clearly have some execution problems. It just looks like they don't practice. It looks like they just are not on the same page, and they have an inability to execute. So I don't know. A lot of the formations they're running are kind of the same thing.
A disparity of talent because you had all these guys go to the NFL and then you had a mass exodus.
I mean, I guess
everybody transferring.
I mean, their 4-year recruiting average, we were looking at it prior to the game, they were 18.5. So it's definitely on the high side of the opponents we've played. Yes, and that's over an average over 4 years, right? So you're talking about transfers and stuff like that. I'm with you, but it's really hard to keep track of that unless I track individual players. And why would I do that? Because I'd have to do it for half the country and forget about it. I mean, seriously, it's a minefield out there, So it's so much easier to judge a team on talent now versus where it used to be when you were pretty much just going on recruiting, and then there'd be like an occasional, grad transfer or someone who sat out a year kind of situation. So I mean, so to judge a team by talent now, week in and week out, is really, really hard. Sometimes it's easier to do just like your quarterback versus ours, because that's easier to compare. But that being said, Florida State does have talent. They have good players. There's a lot of money that's been pumped down there. Norvell's got a really big buyout. So Florida State and LSU, I think right now, are both having buyer's remorse. Now, I think Norvell does deserve to have, another year per se.
I agree.
He did go 13-1 last year. Then they got boat raced by Georgia. And then this year is just completely falling apart. They're now 1-9. They may finish, 2-10 or God bless 1-11. I mean, it's bad over there.
Could this be the worst season in Florida State history?
It probably is, and I don't care if it is because I don't like them. They're not in like the tier 1 hate space like Miami, where
I was just gonna say they're not quite Miami.
They're not Miami and USC and Michigan, and so if Florida State was in that tier 1 level of hate, then I would go do that research to be like, oh, is this the year that they're really bad? And I'm like the emperor here going, good. Like, no, like, no, I'm not doing that. So that's that. But yes, we kill Florida State, go look at the scoreboard, job, game, set, match. And maybe because Notre Dame's strength of schedule is 66 now per Sagarin, which is why Notre Dame is, quote, only 8th. Even though we're killing our opponents right now, our scoring margin on average is 27.2 points right now, which is huge. We put up.
Where is that nationally ranked?
I'm sorry?
Do you have that nationally ranked?
No, I don't. I'd have to do like a ton of teams to figure that out. I can say this: scoring offense, we're 12th in the country. Total, bear with me. Scoring defense, we're 3rd in the country. Okay, so I can do that, but the actual subtraction there, that's my own thing.
I gotcha.
So anyway, we're really good, and we move up to number 3rd in turnover margin. Now, pop quiz. Let's. I got a pop quiz here about our best stat. Let's get that to the next person. Who's that going to be?
Oh, let's go to Irish JTL.
Irish JTL. All right, he's probably going to know this because he's savvy. Jason, are you there? Tailgate master extraordinaire. Maybe not. I saw him take a huge swig of bourbon or something prior to going in, or maybe it was a rye. I don't know what it was prior to going into the stadium. I wanted to ask him how the tailgate was. I saw 0 pictures, which means it was probably so good that, and of course the cell phone reception's bad in Notre Dame parking lot. Irish JTL, are you there?
I saw lots of pictures of Gator.
Okay.
Which I'm assuming is Craig's dog.
Oh yeah, I did see that. That's right. Well, all right. Let's see here. Warrior 40, Patty Mac. Who wants to come on? We're just going to invite everybody to speak.
Go ahead and throw the question out there.
All right, here's the question. What's Notre Dame's best stat on paper? Hint, we're 2nd in the country in this statistic.
Passing defense.
Yep, correct. We are averaging our opponent to 148 yards through the air. National champions 196. So we're really good. Now, next, what's Notre Dame's worst statistic? It's the opposite of this one.
The run defense,
no,
really?
Our passing yards is our worst. We limit our opponent to 148. We, though, are 100th in the country, 197.
Okay.
Now, that's the average for the season. Now, this past game, we passed for 252 yards.
Nice.
So hooray for our side. Now, if we want to dig into that further, the $1 million question is, well, wait a second. Angeli threw some passes, threw a touchdown as well. He was 3 for 3. People are giving, Riley Leonard shit. And we used to do that too. But Riley Leonard is improving per se. He alone had 215 passing yards. So not bad. And Notre Dame as a team was actually pretty decent in passing completion percentage in this past game. So
what I loved was your random tweet or text in the family group thread about just let Angeli run the 2-minute. I was like, yep.
I'm glad you brought that up because we're watching that, scoring drive at the end of the first half, and it's like we have plenty of time. Their defense is not good. There's no reason why we can't do the 2-minute drill and move down the field, and it was very it was very concerning, quite frankly, to watch. And that's, I think, what is gonna bother people and give people some anxiety. And I was I think on Sunday I'm like, doing whatever, and I'm reading ESPN's FPI. I know it's Football Power Index. Every time I read it, though, I want to read Fake Poll Index because it really doesn't mean anything. So the ESPN Fake Poll Index, I read Notre Dame, and they had us like in the teens or something, and I was like, why? And it was all about like Notre Dame's passing offense and Riley Leonard, and that was like all they talked about. And I'm like, are you not paying attention to the defense, the ability that we can run the ball, the fact that we put up 50 points 2 weeks in a row? Like, go find me the other team that did that.
And honestly, when you play solid defense, you run the ball like we are, you're going to naturally control time of possession. So it wouldn't surprise me that our time of possession is definitely the majority.
I usually don't look at that, but actually, we had the losing end of time of possession, believe it or not. They had the ball 33 minutes. We had it 26. So I think what it comes down to is this. I don't have a play count. Well, actually, I could do that. Yeah, passing plays. Yeah, they had 7 more plays than we did. They had 69. We had 62. And obviously, when you get turnovers on a short field, that's good for us. They had 2 turnovers. But
also breaking off some long runs, that's always going to help.
Well, get this. We were 7 of 11 on scoring drives. They were 1 of 13.
Yikes.
Exactly. So that's something that only I keep track of. No one else does that. But like and then this jumped off the page when I was looking at the statistics and doing our scoring drives. Truth or a lie? Every single possession Notre Dame had in the second half, we scored points.
Irish JTL, jump in and answer that one.
What was that? I missed it. Sorry.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 possessions only in the second half. In all 4 of those possessions, we scored.
Yeah.
Yep. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown, touchdown. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, there was also, the pick 6, throw that in there, right? They throw an interception 5 plays into the third quarter, right? So it was really no contest really in the second half. We blow them out, 21 points in the fourth quarter. Yikes. We creamed them, and I am not sorry. Not at all. So, hooray! Go Irish. Well, Jason, how was the tailgate?
Fivers actually stopped by.
Awesome.
Fivers, and it was your dad, right, Fivers?
Yep.
Yeah, so we conservatively estimated between me and Tim about 150 people. We went through over 55 pounds of food, 15 cases of beer, and 6/5 of liquor.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Man, that's like party central. That dwarfs what we had for the Stanford gathering. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was huge. We had
a lot of people.
Yeah, we had somebody from Virginia came in. He rolled 12 or 10 deep. I had 5 with me. Nolan had about 8 buddies stop by. Tim had 5 with him. We had Dylan from the Four Horsemen podcast there with us.
Okay.
Dougie Fant, Bang, Dylan Deputy came by. I mean, it was enormous. I didn't even get to talk to Fivers very much because there were so many people.
Yikes. Yikes. No, that's good. Well, maybe because we set the tone of how awesome the Stanford tailgate was, and then everyone's like, oh, I want in on that too. And
yeah, it's been a great year for tailgating.
Yeah, the weather's been good too, right? Knock on wood,
yeah,
right? I don't know.
It was nice for me. Everybody was pretty cold, but I was, I'm fat, so I was good.
It looked like a normal November kind of game in South Bend, right? It's the last home game this Saturday. I have no idea what the weather is supposed to be like. I guess we could check that
I
out
saw
real quick.
52. I saw 52 for a high and 48 for a low. So
That's
not going to change
awesome.
much. Yeah, it's great.
That's wonderful. That's like shorts weather in South Bend. Give me a break.
That's about what it was last year with you guys, I think. If the sun's out, that's a beautiful day.
Yeah, what was it? The Wake game last year is the last game last year. Yeah, that was nice. The sun was shining. It was a little breezy, but it wasn't too bad. I mean, I think I just had a.
But I was happy I didn't wear that extra layer.
Yeah, I just had a sweatshirt on. I was fine, and we weren't even standing the whole game. So.
Yeah, I was rocking the shorts and a pullover, and I was more. It did get windy a few times, like really windy. We had to weigh down the canopies, but so we had a great time.
Well, good. Warrior 40 just gave us the thumbs down. I'm not really sure why. Maybe he's not looking forward to the cold up there in Bern. I'm not sure what's going on up there in north central Indiana there. Irish JTL, anything we missed? We talked a little bit about Coach Faust passing, the rankings. We haven't talked yet about Virginia or the USC news, but anything you want to touch on?
No, I'm with you on the Penn State ranking. I think, they didn't even score an offensive touchdown against the only team they played, and having them at 4 is just nasty work, and because they don't really have an opportunity to lose. They're not going to go to the championship game unless Indiana upsets Ohio State. So they're just kind of in there, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with them at the end of the year. Everybody saw that we got a big 4-star linebacker, NFL legacy recruit today, I assume.
Yes, sir.
And then
the weekend was a good weekend for Notre Dame recruiting. The stadium night atmosphere was good. A lot of high school guys, a lot of recruits there. We're trying to flip people from LSU and whatnot, right? And what's great is when the team we're trying to flip them from loses bad. It's like, well, you could hang out over here at this school that's kicking ass and look at this environment.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much back in play for Meadows.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to end up at LSU. It might not be us. I think we're done with NOB. He definitely ain't coming. So
yeah.
Good and so bad. We got the BC running back flip after it, which was good.
I mean, I'll say this, and I'm kind of with Luis on this one. It's like, look, we're Notre Dame. Here's what we are. Here's the offer. It's in your hands now, recruit, whether you want to take it or not. And quite frankly, you should feel blessed that we're wanting you to come play here at Notre Dame, right? It used to not feel that way, but now that we're, hanging 50 points on a Florida State team at home, the stadium's rocking. And I will say this, now that I've been to, multiple away stadiums, the Notre Dame stadium environment is actually really good. And I start paying attention to more things now watching it on TV, like how many ads the opponent is running in their own stadium. And it's like just a billboard, like a WNBA jersey or something. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of irritating to watch that. And Notre Dame doesn't have that. It's very clean and crisp. And there's no ads at all over the place. It's great.
It was very loud. NBC, I rewatched the game when I got home. NBC doesn't do a good job of broadcasting it. It was very loud.
Yeah.
Florida State's quarterbacks were covering their ears the whole night.
Yes.
They had multiple times. They used timeouts early and often. It was super loud. The paratroopers, it's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I did hear that.
I love that video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was better than any flyover. It was
okay.
They came in hot.
I remember, I forget what year it was. I think it was my first year. I think it was like a Michigan game or something. We had paratroopers that came down for that one too. So it was pretty badass.
My first time seeing them, and I was very impressed. I was impressed with the atmosphere. I think what's lost on people is, and I don't remember who said it. It might have been Horka, who barely gets any W's in my opinion. But yeah, it was Florida State, and we all kind of knew who they were. But we beat them by more than Miami and SMU combined.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And we have the largest margin of victory over P4s by a lot right now.
Yeah, we're looking really good right now with respect to what we're doing. And it's interesting is I feel like we're kind of slow out of the gate, but once that Notre Dame machine gets rolling, man, you cannot stop us. I feel like we're making really good adjustments both on defense and offense. More so on defense to really lock down the opponent and just frustrate the hell out of them. And I think we're doing a bang up job. It's great.
I agree with that 100%.
Luis has got his hand up, or he's giving us a high five. I'm not sure where he's going at.
Yeah, I just
Jump in here.
go ahead,
I
Luis.
just want to follow up on something that you said real quick.
Shoot.
Yeah, so that's the mentality that I would love for all of us to start having, is that you're lucky that we're at your doorstep and we're knocking on your door. Your talents is what caught our attention, but we're Notre Dame. We're here for a reason. What is your reason to come to our school? And if we like it, here's the offer. If you don't, hey, fuck you and have a nice day. Simple as that. All right, we move on to the next. We don't need to be begging them. We don't need to be asking for this and act like we're the prima donnas and the girl that's begging for that guy's attention, man. We are the attention. We are who we are because who we are. So you lucky that we're at your doorstep, and pay attention when we're at your doorstep. Because if not, we out.
Yeah. That's it's a short list, and it's like, oh, if you're not on it, you're not on it. You know, like reserve your spot in line. You know what I'm saying?
So speaking of slow starts, Joe, I read that we started slow this weekend. I didn't really see it.
I mean, we didn't convert, you know, early.
Well, hold on. We got, I believe, Al Golden kind of runs in the first series what he's seen on tape, because we do give up points a lot on the first drive, or at least a lot of yardage. But then, you know, he's always preached in-game adjustments, not at halftime, not between the quarters, but every drive is an adjustment. And
I agree.
He comes in with a game plan. Obviously, they're going to change it up because they want to shift their tendencies, and they know they have to. But after Florida State's initial, we got the kickoff, right?
Yeah, to start the game. That's right.
We scored in a minute and 36 seconds.
Pretty much, yeah. 143
so
is what he has
really,
been. Yeah, five plays.
Yeah, it's just that they had a 6.5 or 7 minute drive following that. So it looked like a slow start, but to score in a minute 36 is, and
so
the last thing I'll say, if you haven't watched the tape, you can see it on the field. Bryce Young's absolutely flying down the field on kickoffs.
Yeah.
Absolutely hauling ass. He's always on either he's on the left hash, where you know, depending on what side we're kicking off from. But my God, he's flying down the field making plays.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I wasn't necessarily like, yes, I agree. We did score on our first drive. What I'm saying is it was slow for the offense the next two, because we went back-to-back 3-and-outs over those next two. So, and then it was like, look, incomplete pass, then a run, then another incomplete pass, we punt. Then the next possession, all right, one yard run, all right, loss of a yard run, and then another incomplete pass, right? So it just kind of got like sputtered out there the next two possessions. But then we score, you know, and it takes them to put Price in for him to then run for 65 fucking yards. I mean, we did three runs to Price to open up that fourth possession, and it goes Price 17 yards, then Price 2 yards, then Price 65 yards to take it to the house. Okay.
Yeah, Love started off slow. Riley missed some throws pretty bad.
Yeah. Maybe he's the one that needs to warm up.
Agreed. I think that's what it is. But I think they're trying to get him immersed, and I really like the play where he had a safety blanket 6 yards down the middle, and he went to Jaden Harrison deep on a deep out. So he improved as the game went on, but I think we just have to play honestly Tony Rice ball minus the option. Like Riley's going to run, he's going to make some plays passing, but we can't depend on it. But feed Love, feed Price. I like getting Aeneas Williams the ball out in space. I like that with Love too.
He's a blessing.
And understand, like Riley does read the gaps. When Riley's running, he's hitting the gaps. And that's just who we are. And good coordinators like Denbrock, he's not going to be taking shots down the field in the first round of the playoff if it's not there. He did it against Florida State because I think we all pretty much knew what the outcome of that. I actually had the score at 58-6, Joe, so we were pretty close.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I think we all had an inkling of how that game was going to go, and it showed pretty quickly. And I think they wanted to see what we could get out of it. And, you know, that's just not going to be who we are this year as much as we all want it. But he does make the plays when we need to.
No, I'm with you. So do you have a prediction for the Virginia game?
My prediction is I'm going to go live with Chris Tyree when he leaves the field first because I'm going to do everything in my power to get him to stop and chat. But yeah, I think we do something like it'll be similar to Stanford, maybe 46-7, 49-6, something around there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like a 45-14 game personally.
47-7.
There you go.
All right, we're all kind of.
I can't predict us giving up more than two touchdowns or more at this point. And my God, all the injuries we've had, we got true freshmen playing in the secondary, true freshmen being more than big contributors at the linebacker position. We're down to our third string defensive ends. Donovan Heinisch came in and played really well after Howard Cross got hurt. The offensive line has kind of found their footing now. They're especially violent running the ball, and that's who we are, and that's who we're rolling with.
I like it. Irish JTL, the tailgating master of ceremonies for Dos Leprechauns. Thank you so much for jumping on the show tonight and blessing us with your wisdom, your knowledge, and your live firsthand experience as a season ticket holder. Thank you. Let's jump over to Warrior 40, who's been patiently waiting in the wing here. He doesn't have to give us the weather update from Bern, but what's up, John?
Hey, Angie's making me go to the Virginia game this weekend.
Oh, she made you?
Kicking and screaming for her birthday. She's making me.
Wait, for your birthday or hers?
Hers. Life's a bitch. I have to go. I'm saddened.
The cross you must bear, you know.
The smallest
right.
violin playing from over here in California.
For better, for worse.
All right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. If she ain't happy, you ain't happy. That's for sure.
That's right. That's right.
How does the team look up there? What's your take?
Looking forward to a good game. They're playing very well. They need to keep the momentum going. Can't have another letdown. Or the season's over. So.
No, absolutely. If we win out, we're definitely in the playoffs. And if we lose one more, we're out. So.
Right. And if we win out, I think we have that home game.
I think so too. I think so too.
Because
that would be great.
Indiana and Ohio State see each other, so one of those is going to fall out of the top.
Yeah.
Hosting. So.
Yeah. Well, and then another one's going to fall out of the top as well, most likely. Maybe not. It kind of just depends on who it is and how things go. But it's probably up to those three teams, to take the Big Ten crown, in the tournament, between IU, Ohio State, and Oregon. I think Penn State losing to Ohio State and in an unconvincing way. Now, if IU does something stupid and say beats Ohio State but then loses to Purdue, which won't happen, but in that hypothetical situation, then you'd have a Penn State versus Oregon in the Big Ten championship, but I don't think that's going to happen. So,
yeah, that Penn State's a big head scratcher at this point. I mean,
they don't look impressive. They're one of those
no,
teams we were talking earlier in the show. I don't think they deserve the ranking they have. I'm not saying that we should be ranked above them, but what I am saying is,
no.
I'm like, why are you up that high? That seems dumb.
Yeah, people always talk about how Notre Dame is overrated, but they also overlook how Penn State is also overrated.
And that's an interesting point. I saw it was after Penn State lost to Ohio State, and like they definitely could have, I think, taken the game in their own house. They didn't get it done. But they on the fourth down play, they're in fucking shotgun, and they run a pass to all their receivers in the short end in the corner of the end zone. It's like, you can't like put one guy over there. You need to spread it out to the long side of the field.
Baby, spacing.
Oh, it's so stupid. Unless you're gonna do some power running, which you didn't to that side. Like it's like, yes, it's really easy to cover somebody when they're all bunched together. This is why in Battleship you don't put all your pieces in a big pile in the middle of your board, because that's how you lose. I know it's a weird metaphor there, but the point remains. I think Penn State shot themselves in the foot. I was like, that's the play you call? Really? I wouldn't have done that. Not in that situation. Not in that.
It would have made more sense for them to run like a tight trips screen.
Well, I have mixed feelings about the near formation per se. I think it's kind of fun per se, but I think if you have to have field space to allow your receivers to scatter. Okay, and if they can't scatter, you can't fuck with the defense, right? Notre Dame did the same damn thing in this game. They bunched all the receivers at one end. I was like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, it works if you throw to the other side to the guy that's isolated on the other side all by himself, and he's one-on-one. Okay, it makes sense.
Well, if it's Michael Floyd out there, absolutely.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. But we don't have Michael Floyd.
Yeah. Is Golden Tate on the team? Let me check the roster. Nope. Okay.
No.
Yeah. I'll take ESB. Is ESB back there? Yeah, exactly. Corey Robinson was pretty good at times. 4th and 18 against Florida State. Then we had a pick.
Although I was happy to see Evans get involved this last week.
Yeah,
so
he got a touchdown. It's awesome.
Exactly. First one on the year. Won't be his last. I think we're going to start to see a little bit more of grease to that wheel for sure. So that'll add to some passing yardage and, receptions and hopefully some passing touchdowns.
Yeah, the receivers are coming around.
And I think, honestly, that's a testament to letting Riley go a little bit more in the offense. And the way I see it is when we start throwing the ball long and he starts going after these longer pass plays, I don't care who you are. I mean, we talked about it earlier in the season where, mentally was he, healed from his injury. Physically, he may be, but mentally, still gun shy kind of thing. But you still have to get into that confidence level to throw those longer passes. And the more he does it, the more confident he's going to be in doing it. And I think that's why you see Denbrock taking the top off in these games where we're starting to, we're 20, 30 points up, is he's still calling these long pass plays because he's finding those opportunities to get, Riley some chunk yard passing plays to get him more confident.
Yeah, the offense overall is really gelling. I mean, with the offensive line's even coming around. And with those weapons of receivers and, of course, the running game, wow.
The running game is very impressive. I was not expecting it to be the workhorse, and it's like calming. It's like I don't have to worry about anything. Essentially, when we're running the ball, I mean, we get stuffed here and there, and maybe it's a function of the rushing defense we're playing. I mean, for crying out loud, let's not mince words here. Florida State was 115th in rush defense. We're playing a team this week that's 49th. The week before, Navy, was it Navy? Gosh, it was so long ago. It feels 95th. Okay, I don't know where Georgia Tech was. But then Stanford, their rush defense was 12th. What did we do to them? We ran for 229 yards. So, I mean,
the strength of this offense is the running game, without question. And I think you're seeing the evolution of the play calling where let's give a guy a series, let's see what he can do. And then, okay, let's mix it up. Let's try somebody else. Because running backs read differently. They react differently. You have the shiftiness of Aeneas Williams, which is reminiscent of Logan Diggs, So you've got some different running backs. Price is a bruiser. He's got more of a pound it between the tackles like Estime than I think Love does. Price just has some wheels. Like he
Price
spits out of that hole.
He reminds me of a cross between like a Dexter Williams and an Estime, if I may. But there's something different about him because like where Dexter just was real shifty and boogie and just wasn't a dancer like Greg Bryant was. I mean, Greg Bryant was like a touchdown waiting to happen. It was so disappointing that that it just didn't work out for him, and then obviously the rest of the story with him is tragic. But that's one of those like stories about the potential of what could have been, right? That's the Greg Bryant story, and he'll always have a special place in my heart, definitely in Notre Dame. But when you go over to
my comparison for Price as a Chargers fan, I'm going to say LaDainian Tomlinson. He's got the same build, same speed, kick it into a gear and just get through the hole and get out of there.
I could see that. Yeah.
I see a lot of LT in him. So
excellent.
Well, Price does that where he kicks it outside. The hole's not quite there, and he kicks it out and he goes.
Yeah.
Where Love sees a crease and he's got so much speed that he'll go 2 yards, he'll go 3 yards, he'll go 1 yard, and then all of a sudden you're just waiting for him to get a little crease and he's gone.
Yeah.
It's very talented.
It's exciting.
But I like I said, that enough of a difference you're going to see. The offensive line is starting to pick up on that, and you're going to have different games where the different reads based on those running back differences are going to benefit one guy over another. And we saw Price just absolutely own it this last week.
Right.
The week before that was Love. So I like the fact that they're giving them some back-to-back-to-back runs and let them own, okay, this is your offensive series. It's on you. And then what we're seeing is Denbrock taking advantage of that and realizing those differences. Okay, Love doesn't have it. I'll keep him in for a couple touches when we need some breaks, gets, guy breather for a couple snaps. But if he's seeing somebody that's working, he's not pulling him off the field. This isn't last year where Estime is just running people over left and right, and then all of a sudden he doesn't touch the ball the entire second half. So
that's a good point.
I'm looking forward to seeing how the season pans out. Not that I'm waiting for the end. I'm enjoying the ride that we're on right now. There's a lot of questions going on, and I think the Army game and obviously the SC game play great importance. I'm not saying we're going to look past Virginia here because I don't think this team is going to do that. I think they got their hand slapped in the cookie jar earlier in the season for doing that. That being said, take care of business on Saturday and move on to the next game. Got to shut down the Cavaliers. It's happening. All right. John, anything else? My voice is starting to die, guys, so we're going to probably give everyone about 5 more minutes left after we finish with John here.
No, I'm good. Nice talking with you. Nice listening, and go Irish.
Go
I'll
Irish.
let somebody else talk.
No worries.
I know.
Thank you.
And enjoy the cold. Tell the wife happy birthday.
Thank you. She's my favorite veteran too. So
that's right.
There we go.
What branch? What branch?
She Army.
Army. Very good. Very good.
Take care.
All right, see you, John. Have a good one. All right, we've invited the Fourth Way Experience, who's requested to speak, to join. I don't know if this is a new person or someone who's just like an LSU fan that's trying to hide their identity but wants to be a Notre Dame fan. Don't know. If not, we'll go to two-time.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yo, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? I think I came on 5 minutes ago, but I wasn't working out, so I left and then came back.
Well,
but
welcome back. Fourth Way
Thank you.
Experience. Welcome to the Fighting Irish Faithful show. What's on your mind?
I'm glad you're having a Twitter live. It's tough to call into the YouTube shows after the games. You know, the phone lines are jammed. So, just a long-time Notre Dame fan. I remember being 6, 7 years old and crying in '93 after BC made the field goal. That should have been our national championship, but we'll leave that alone.
Understood.
So just commenting on the rankings, if we win out, that Army game at Yankee Stadium is going to be a big one. I will actually be in attendance there.
Okay.
For that.
Hoorah!
Yeah, it's good time. No baseball, football. I only go to Yankee Stadium when there's football going on.
Hoorah!
But win that. USC doesn't look too challenging. We did lose an easy one earlier. So
I hope Nebraska kicks their ass.
Yes, and maybe a sprained ankle for one or two starters. Nothing too drastic, just they have to sit out our game and easy path.
No, they just have to limp through our game,
Yes, they're not at full speed. Exactly.
I just want to see Notre Dame just beat the crap out of them for 48 minutes up and down the field. I can't wait to watch that in person because I hope that's exactly what it is.
2 years in a row will definitely put us maybe, winning the arm wrestle of the rivalry a little bit.
Yes, please.
Last year was a good one. But I just want to say, I think Marcus Freeman is doing a good job. I wouldn't say great. I wouldn't say okay with the way he turned it around. He got better OC and defensive coordinator and people around him. So that helps with a win or two because I think we might not win that first game and not really have the large blowouts and be ranked 15, 16, somewhere mid-pack, and now we're at 8.
Yeah.
And I just like the way things are going, and it's very tough to go undefeated, as everyone knows. So trend is up, and I look forward to more Twitter Spaces and ND football in the future.
That's awesome. Now, how did you find out the show, or I don't see
it. Well, crypto is doing very well right now. So I'm on Twitter because I follow some crypto people. And everyone got out of bed, the past week or two with the pump of coin. So I was on Twitter, and then at the top, I'm part of a couple other, political and other lives. And then I saw Fighting Irish live. So I wanted to see if there was 1,000 people in here or 10 people or if I could speak. And then when I saw that there was under 15 at the time or under 20, I just hung around and clicked speak just so I can let my presence be known. But Twitter kind of gave me the algorithm, probably because I also follow Notre Dame people. So it was like, hey, this live might be interesting.
Well, and now the host of the Fighting Irish Faithful show has just sent you a follow there. So thank you much.
Nice.
So you've never heard our show before?
No, I guess Elon's Twitter is getting better. I guess
I like it
because this is not my normal voice, by the way. So okay, I'm very much under the weather here. If you went and checked out our older stuff, we have 139 episodes prior to this one on Spotify and Apple, whatever they got. Yeah. So search Fighting Irish Faithful, I come up. You'll be like, who the hell? This is not the guy that I talked to on Tuesday. Who's this guy claiming to be Joe?
I follow John Kennedy with his YouTube show, and then Goolsby and Singer and all those people on YouTube. Okay. But I don't really use Twitter for sports. But as I use it more and more, like I said, with other stuff, financial,
come to the dark
what have
side.
You? I'm just on it more, so it's going to throw things my way.
Side. Well, we are those guys, those other shows, they have their place. This show's a little different since I take it from you. You're a numbers guy. You're an analytics guy.
Well, I'm just an ND fan, so if I can talk ND,
but you were mentioning crypto and things like that, so you're paying attention to numbers and things.
Financial, you're right. I'm not going to say you're wrong.
You can tell me I'm wrong. I'm the first to admit.
No, you're not. You're
You're
not.
I'm usually not wrong on this show. I will say that.
No, you're not wrong. I'm a financial guy. That's why I'm liking the 8-1 record, and I called in because things are going well, and I see mathematically our path.
You can call in if we're doing bad too. We might have a little more scotch.
No, I don't want to talk about it. You know, I said I was 6, 7 years old, and I cried in my room. Just because I'm 38 doesn't mean that stops. So you know, when we're doing bad, I don't want to be crying on the phone. So I'll just call
you're in good company then, because when Notre Dame and it's all recent love and glory, the roller coaster that is what we call Notre Dame football is definitely brought us to tears for both happy and sad reasons. So.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Marcus Freeman's at a 75% win percentage right now, this far into his third year coaching. The tagline, or the kind of the gimmicky whatever, we are powered by scotch and spreadsheets on this show. Very analytical. Okay. Since you're new, you'll get the speech that everyone else here that's listening has probably already heard. But I started this show in 2020, not because of COVID. That was more just kind of a coincidence. But I was listening to other shows, other podcasts, and I was like, no one's really doing any analytics about Notre Dame. I mean, we're all talking about Notre Dame. We want Notre Dame to do well, but no one's actually putting any numbers behind it. And then coupled that, I was so pissed in 2016 why Notre Dame had done so bad 7 years in with BK that I'm like, this is bullshit. There's something wrong. And I started looking at numbers and data and listening to people. And then as time has gone on, I've developed over 25 stats that I now follow, but it's not just looking at them in a vacuum. No, I compare Notre Dame to the last 10 years of national champions. So now that I've done this for 5 years, I've actually looked at over 15 years of national champions, and I just, it's a moving average that moves on. So what that comes down to is now I'm very analytical and very precise about these stats matter, these ones not as much. And so week in and week out, I compare Notre Dame to Virginia. Last week, of course, was Florida State. And I'm going through, okay, we are better than Virginia in all of these stats except these. And then where does Notre Dame and Virginia compare to the last 10-year average of national champions? So that's what this show is. But we do have fun. It's not just, put you to sleep with math, scotch spreadsheets. So on most shows, I get drunk and rambly. And
nice.
And when, but I have a cold, so we had to tone that down.
Scotch is good for a cold.
It is good for a cold. It's also just good. Period.
Yeah, in general too.
Yeah.
But where I come from with Notre Dame football is I played football, not at this D1 level, but I played D3 level in Massachusetts, and my grandfather was a big Notre Dame fan. My uncle went to Notre Dame. My cousin that's around my age went to St. Mary's. I've been to Notre Dame Stadium many times. Just something I noticed in the beginning of the season when Riley Leonard would roll out to the right and the second level wide receiver was open 15, 17, maybe even 13 yards down the field. He just wasn't throwing the ball. So I said to myself, it's one of two things. He can't, or he doesn't see them. And it happened two or three times. And I just said to myself, well, D1 quarterback, third, fourth, fifth year D1, regardless of a spring training, you have to be able to plant off your left foot, kind of control your body in the air, use your hips, and use gravity and torque to get the ball 15 yards down the field and get to that next level to be ranked 3, 4, 5. Looks like we might end up 5, 6, 7, even without that on the run passing skill, and maybe over the next 3 games he can develop that. And I've been playing football. Unfortunately, my head doesn't really like it, but since 3rd grade.
Nice.
So I've just been in the game for a while.
Brilliant. That's awesome. Well, glad you found us. We're usually
good talking to you.
Yeah, we usually do a Tuesday night show. Post-game shows have been scattered. I got 2 little kids now, and then so sometimes, like putting them to bed on a Tuesday night is no problem. But then, doing a show right after the games, especially these 3:30 games, a little more difficult. The night games are a little more possible to do that. But again, I was feeling under the weather on Saturday. My voice was not as fucked up as it is now. But that being said, this is where we're at.
Well,
so check us out.
I'll let you continue on. Just wanted to say, for business, I think a Tuesday night show after the rankings, since we're actually in the rankings towards the top, is great for this year, and I think that is a good night for it. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Wow, that was fun. Yeah. A new person here. The Fourth Way experience at The Fourth Way.
I definitely sent him a follow.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's like, what's the fourth commandment? Honor thy mother and thy father. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
You could just Google the name; it'll come up. It's a philosophy, Russian philosophy.
Oh, okay.
That's where it comes from. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's some homework for me. Check that out. Thank you so much. Well, the Tuesday night thing, though, we've kind of settled on that for a couple of years. I think I was really random when I first started doing it. Like I do it on Monday, or I'd even wait till like Thursday or something.
Yeah.
And it was like, I just need to pick a night and get things sorted. And now that I have more of a routine, especially with the little ones running around, it's like, okay, I got to make sure I get the analytics done by this day. And today was a little bit of a scramble because then found out this morning about Coach Faust passing away. So it's like, well, shit, I got to do some very brief statistical analysis of him, just very high level type of stuff. Can't get really too much in depth, but how relevant is the statistics from 1981 to 1985? Give me a break. All right, we got
completely different style of football, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we got Mike Sloan, who's requested to speak. I'm going to bring you on. Mike Sloan, welcome back to the Fighting Irish Faithful Show, sir. What's up, brother? You're on mute. Unmute. Pink button. Maybe he doesn't want to speak.
Yo.
Put the corona down, man.
Don't sell yourself short. Let the fourth know that you were solely responsible for putting together the Twitter gathering. And speaking of Scotch is good, you know what else is good?
Is this going to be a moonshine discussion?
No. Silver tequila, Sprite, lemon juice, lime juice, crushed ice.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can concur on that one.
I saw the doc. I saw the doc. Just like I was holding the baby and the toddler was running around, and I saw her go in and grab the bottle of vodka, and I'm like, where you go with that? And she she pours it in her like mama sippy cup, and I'm like, I don't see anything she's mixing it with, and I'm just like staying curious, like what's about to happen here. And then she ends up cracking a Sprite and putting a Sprite in there, and I was like, okay, that's.
I was getting worried there for a second.
I was like, what happened? We just had a nice dinner. What?
She went upstairs and found a surprise. I don't know.
I don't know what. Yeah, did the cat shit in the room again? Like gosh, what's going on? All right, Mike, what's up? How's the Irish looking from your vantage point?
Keep winning. I'm not putting a lot of thought into where we're at right now. I mean, there's still a few spots to move up, and the main goal is to get a home game. So I think we're fine. Just win out, and we'll be there.
I agree. I mean, I don't know how much of a difference it is. I mean, I guess technically for rankings and, tournament type of stuff, the higher you are, the more you're rewarded against a quote easier team. But I think all bets are off, when you're in that 5 through 8 space, it's like, does it really matter if it's 8 versus 9 or 5 versus 12? I don't know. So I think it could go either way. And especially this being the first year of the college football, 12-team expanded playoffs, the best we can hope for as Notre Dame fans right now in this current format is to be in that 5 through 8 space. And right now we're 8, so we're looking good.
Yeah, I mean, the very, very best will ever get 5th, but that secures a home game. So go from there and win out. And I think we're fine. It's just a matter of who we're going to have to face and take care of business, getting this thing and get on a streak and try to do something.
Yeah, because you got to think that there's going to be teams in front of us. I mean, if we were undefeated and we were killing everybody, it's a different story. But we have that one loss, and it's a pretty bad loss. Thank God it was earlier in the season. That's all I have to say. But the fact is, after these conference championship games play out, the loser of said game will probably still be a pretty well high ranked type of team, and so they could still slip in front of us, and prevent us from being that five or six type of position.
For some reason, I have this gut feeling that we're going to end up seeing Ohio State. I just have this feeling we're going to see Ohio State, and Marcus Freeman is going to get a chance to right that wrong.
Wow.
It's fine. Hell, it doesn't matter.
Bring it on. I don't give a shit who it is.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Bring it on. Bring it
on.
At
South Bend in December, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to tell UPS that I'm not going to be available on a Friday during, Christmas week, and I have a family emergency, and I just happen to be in South Bend.
Yeah.
You got a bed at my Airbnb, Mike, and a ticket to the game, brother.
Oh, man.
I already have it reserved. It might be floor sleeping only, but you got it.
Shit, I'd sleep on the roof if I could get there for a home playoff game.
Now we're talking.
I don't care.
Now we're talking. Yeah, no, I've got my hotel all sorted.
Never went so good.
No, that's right. Yeah, I'm just like IRSJTL. I've got my lodging secured already. Don't have the ticket situation sorted because that's still up in the air. But yeah, definitely the lodging, the place to sleep, whatnot is secure. So we're good. We good.
The lodging is what we need because my ticket rep said we get first right of refusal on our seats, and then they're anticipating 6 to 12 additional allotments for season ticket holders and alumni.
Okay. And then with the alumni piece, they always do the donors and stuff. So, I don't know where that puts me because I don't donate that much, obviously. I'm just doing my normal, whatever. But I wonder if it's kind of like I know like Indy 500 tickets, like you get rewarded for the number of years you've been doing it, or maybe that's the Bears. I don't know. But, I mean, I bought tickets from Notre Dame every year for the past, ever since 2019, I think. Well, no, not 2020, obviously, because of COVID, but ever since 2021, every year I could, 2019, 2021, et cetera. So we doing it. So. All right.
Look at it this way. An 8-hour drive in December, hell, enough bourbon, a Honda Civic's going to feel like a Sealy Posturepedic. It doesn't make shit to me.
Now we talking. Yeah, that's good. There's one other thing I wanted to get on with here. I wrote it in my notes, and I didn't want to leave it untouched here. And we got Mike on here with us. We got Mac and Eric Parsegian. I think we're going to shut it down after those guys. My voice is getting shot. It's getting late. And trying to I gotta start keeping these under 2 hours or 90 minutes because 2.5 hour shows are just ridiculous. I mean, if it's like a big win at or something, that's a different story. But for this a Tuesday show, it's getting a little out of hand.
We need another After Dark episode, though.
Yeah, that's more of like we're just twiddling our thumbs and shooting the shit, and the scotch is flowing. Anyway. So, this news dropped. USC got in trouble. USC is going on probation, but Lincoln Riley is not suspended, which I don't understand how that's possible. So, in short, USC in the spring and fall of 2022, and I believe the spring of 2023, had too many coaches, unofficial coaches, coaching the guys. I don't know the rules, and the way I've read 2 articles, and they're both basically say the same thing, which makes me think these people who wrote it don't actually know what was going on. But that being said, and it's USC, and I don't really care. It's just fun to watch them writhe with their shitty record right now, which is shitty because once again they're not going to make the playoffs. But they get 1 year of probation. Now I don't know what that means. Does that mean like no recruits, no playoff bowl game? Like I don't know what that means by 1 year of probation. Like you have to check in at before midnight, with your officer. I don't know what that means. Okay. $50,000 fine. Okay. They've got a big endowment, so that's nothing. A restriction for the special teams analyst from practice and film review for 6 consecutive days during 2 weeks of this season. Okay. A restriction for the remaining analysts from practice and film review for 6 consecutive days during 4 weeks of this season. So I assume this is effective now, like immediate today. I don't know. Like I need like a timeline in a graph or something, or put it in a spreadsheet. Then it'll make more sense to me. And then last is a reduction in countable athletically related activities for the football program by 24 hours during the 2023-2024 season, self-imposed by the school. Okay.
So what does that mean? They'll agree to skip a few practices and take a slap on the wrist, and if they do it again, then they'll get the handcuffs.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's like the 1 year probation is like, they've got like someone from the NCAA that's got to like check in on them every now and then. I don't know what that means. What does 1 year of probation mean for a football team in Division I? I don't know what that means. So, and I didn't want to waste time, looking it up. But either way, I thought it was kind of interesting because I hate USC and we play them in a couple weeks here. So I don't know if that means that they're being handcuffed a little bit with some of their coaching and film study people. Not that it's really going to matter because USC also just changed their quarterback. And what's weird, it's something about like they had too many coaches at times that they shouldn't have had coaches. But then Lincoln Riley doesn't get any sort of penalty for that. Like no suspension for him. And they were like, oh, well, the rule happened after some bullshit. So like, I'm not saying that they should have done it one way or the other. I'm just being like, I don't understand what any of this really means. I mean, it's kind of fun to see USC get a fine, but I don't know. That either way, it makes USC look bad, and I'm cool with that. So anyway, that's kind of more just twisting the knife of our rival, the Trojans. All right. Mac and Coach Parsegian.
No suck for USC. Needs to start a second counter. For how many days has USC been on probation starting today?
That's right. Where is he? I haven't seen him in a while.
I haven't seen him.
Yeah, I don't know. Coach Parsegian, what's up? Welcome back.
Does it even, pay for play is legal now. Like,
yep.
Why is probation even still a thing?
What does that even mean
at this point?
I mean, your wife's
a cop. Are they not going to let him go to Are they not going to let him go to a bowl game?
It means crime pays. The fine is less than the money you make in the end.
Yeah.
Like you said, $50,000. That's pocket change to USC.
Yeah, that's right.
It's LA. They don't care.
Yeah.
This is the same school that was paying hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars to Reggie Bush.
Yes.
They really do not care, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is just I don't understand what half of this article was saying, and the one on ESPN was actually worse. This one I stopped after reading the one on SI. I was like, okay, this if I read anything more, it's gonna be the same. I'm gonna have to have someone read the Rosetta Stone here to decipher what all this means. But at the end of the day, I also really don't care because it's like, look, what matters when we play them is what happens on the football field. Maybe some of these other things will hurt USC and their ability to execute. Maybe, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's like, well, USC clearly did something bad, and it was quote unquote bad enough that the inept NCAA had to do something about it. So
it's not like that rogue booster at Miami in the late 2000s, 2010s that was providing prostitutes and money and jewelry and whatever else that he was doing, just getting to run out with the team onto the field. If you remember that whole scandal.
I do remember hearing about that. Yeah. Yeah. Who was that? Who was that? Nevin Shapiro or something?
Nevin rings a bell.
I think that's who it is. Yeah. 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 Yacht parties. Yeah. All sorts of crazy stuff. Yeah. If memory serves me right, I think it's Nevin Shapiro or something like that. That seems
which
par for the
Miami
course.
lost, by the way. So
which was glorious. That was fun. They lost. Boise won. IU won. Notre Dame won. Life is good. Life is good in this house, that's for sure. But Coach, what's your thought here of our young men here? You can even talk about the coach that succeeded you, 2 times after, Gerry Faust, because he passed away.
Best wishes to his family, but I mean, I'm not going to say anything other than that. I look at product on the field.
Yep.
So
that's fair. Yeah, he had we mentioned this earlier, but we can bring it up now. He had a 52% win percentage at Notre Dame, so he's kind of in that Bob Davie, Charlie Weiss space as far as win percentage. But what I will say is certainly a man of character and quote unquote Notre Dame man. I don't know what that means, but certainly someone who respected the university enough that he realized that this place is bigger and this environment is bigger, that I don't think I'm gonna ever surmount the mountain, so I'm gonna step down. And I think that takes a lot of honor and
absolutely.
Humility.
I mean, at least he had the balls to walk away, whereas other coaches like Charlie Weiss wasn't going to walk away.
Yeah. Well, and we just paid him a fuck ton of money too. So yeah, no, it's it is what it is, and so yeah, he had the honor to step in.
My bad.
Charlie Weiss.
You're going to have to cut that as a soundbite.
That was actually awesome, yeah.
Good God, I'm glad I wasn't holding my cup. That would have been all over.
Well, it was my Notre Dame Guinness cans that fell over, so I mean, at least it was something worthwhile.
You just spilled Guinness?
No, they're empty.
As a sound drop.
Wait, huh? I'm so confused.
No, they were stacked up on the kitchen counter, and I haven't moved them yet.
Were you playing like Jenga or something?
No, there was there was something in front of them that I moved out of the way. One of the kids' toys was sitting up there, and I moved it out of the way, and they all came tumbling.
Oh, see, what they did is they just booby trapped it. It's like they're getting
pretty
ready.
Much.
It's like a Home Alone trap that you just, the kids are giggling in the other room. They're like, we got down.
Well, pretty much. For some reason, he stuck that Notre Dame foam finger that I found in the stands.
Yeah.
He stuck it right in front of them, and I moved it out of the way. And they fell.
This is totally a planted thing.
Oh, 100%.
I guarantee it. This is something that Red Snapper and I
But you have to cut that soundbite. That was perfect.
Well, maybe every time Coach Parsegian jumps on, Coach Parsegian, clang. Yeah.
My bad.
My bad. Yeah, that's right. All right. Anything else, Coach? Otherwise, we're going to go to Mac, and he wants to talk about punting.
No, that's about it. Let's just hope we don't have a repeat of 2015 against Virginia.
Oh, no, we won that game. It's all good.
Yes, but I'm just saying it's very nerve-wracking coming down to the last play of the game.
Wait, are you
Didn't
saying...
we lose to Virginia in 17?
No, you're thinking of Virginia Tech in 2016.
Okay. Who did we lose to in November in 17? I swear it was Virginia. No.
Stanford.
Not at home in November. At home in November.
Georgia.
No.
It was
not
Georgia.
in November.
No, we didn't lose to anybody at home in November. We lost.
If you give me 1 second, I can tell you.
I don't need to give you a second because I know for a fact we lost to Georgia. Then we were ranked like 3rd or 4th in the playoffs. Then we went down to Miami, okay, and we got our ass kicked, okay, in 2017.
We lost at Stanford.
That's already said that.
So, who did we lose to at home in November?
Not in 2017. You're
not in 2017.
You're drinking or you're hallucinating. You're wrong.
No, I'm not. All right, I gotta look it up. The last time we lost at home in November was like 7 years ago.
No, that's not the question. The question was in 2017. I've got a spreadsheet here. I've got every single game we have played from Florida State last week to Lou Holtz's first game in 1986. I started filling in Gerry Faust. Okay.
So when's the last time we lost at home in November?
Well, we lost to Navy and Virginia Tech in 2016.
We did cover it.
We covered this in 2016. I already said this. It was Virginia Tech in 2016 . We mentioned this last week.
Okay, come off by a year. Okay, my bad.
It's fine. It's fine. Now, so that loss at Stanford in 2017 was bullshit. I will say that.
So we haven't lost in 8 years at home in November.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. That is correct.
I got a quick question.
What's up, Mike?
With all the guys saying that Army's getting disrespected? I mean, respect their record, but do they have any good wins?
No.
Like what? I don't understand the.
No, I was looking at Army today, and that's the wrong thing. Hold on a second. I actually left this up. So Army is ranked 57th in Sagarin. Sagarin is all math, so it's based off your record, your margin of victory, and your strength of schedule. Army's strength of schedule is 138th.
Who?
That's why.
Their best one is North Texas, 14-3.
Correct.
There's a reason that Army has not been taken seriously since World War II in college football.
Pretty much.
Damn.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, they have to pass the fat guy tape, so their linemen are like 255 tops.
That's fair. So anyway,
and Notre Dame players need a 3.7 plus. So what's.
Yes.
Now we all have restrictions.
Hey, I think that is what did Charlie Weiss say? It's gonna have an intelligent, nasty football team. Or at least he said something like that in his opening press conference.
A hardworking, intelligent, nasty.
Intelligent, nasty football team. Oh, what a great opening line. What a bill of goods he sold us on. It's like and then
they turned into something nasty by year 3. That's for sure.
Yeah,
he was talking about the selection at Shoney's at the breakfast buffet.
Oh my gosh! And then Kelly goes in, the salesman of salesmen, with his family now down in LSU. Gosh darn, what a shit fest that is. But anyway, we don't need to talk about other coaches. There's really only one other than Coach Parsegian, who is our guest here, and has been a co-host in studio. But the other former coach worthy of talking about is Coach Faust. Yes, we wish him the best, his family the best in this difficult time, and may he rest in peace. Red Snappers in a wind tunnel, or maybe that's the fourth commandment. I don't know.
I'm on mute. It's not me.
Oh, it's X is doing that thing where it shows that your microphone is working, but it's been wrong before. So it was also glitching earlier.
I do want to comment on Kelly, not particularly in a bad way.
Oh, but you can.
Yeah, it'll be a compliment sandwich, or maybe not a full sandwich. But he was great at the low hanging fruit. He always finished his plate when, like he never really let you down too much, I guess, with the low hanging fruit. But I just don't.
I mean, we lost to fucking Duke.
No, that is true. But I'm just saying, over his tenure, that's why he had so many wins.
Yeah, I think from 2017 on, like that statement is 100% correct. I will disagree with you on 2016 and forward. We're losing to Duke, and we're gritting out wins versus Pittsburgh and Virginia, and I was at the fucking Tulsa game that we lost. I'm not like mad at you. I'm more mad at Kelly. But I will say this.
No, I hear when I bring up Kelly, there's going to be people cursing. So it's just what it is.
Well, I mean, we curse on this show in general, right?
Yeah.
We don't always click the explicit button.
I also wanted to say, leaving teams at the altar, proverbial, before the bowl game, and I think didn't he do that with another team? Earlier?
Yeah, Cincinnati. He did that with Cincinnati before they got pistol whipped by Florida.
So who's to say he's not going to do that to you? It's more of a character thing than a winning thing.
I guess if he went to the NFL or something, I just don't think I think he's too much of an egotistical dick to go to the NFL. You gotta be able to schmooze people as a head coach.
If they pay him enough, he'll go.
So what I'm hearing correctly then is once a cheater, always a cheater?
Exactly.
Oh, that kind of cheating. Okay. Not like Michigan cheating. Okay. Sorry. That's more like being unfaithful rather than cheating.
Yeah, and if you're with your guys to the last minute, the 25th hour, and then you leave them before a bowl game, wasn't it the Fiesta Bowl too?
It was the Fiesta Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it was the I don't know, Geico Toasty, the Geico Pop-Tarts Bowl in December 14th.
The Frosted Flakes Bowl.
Yeah,
it was the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Red Snapper.
Sun Bowl. Yeah.
Get it right, okay?
So it's a little bit too much to look past, especially when it's twice.
I'm with you.
So those are my feelings.
No, and we're simpatico there. No, I said this to the doc earlier in the week, and I don't even know how the subject. Oh, I was telling her, giving her the play-by-play of what she didn't watch that I did watch as we're driving to church on Sunday, and I was telling her about how LSU lost. They got pistol whipped by Bama, but not nearly as bad by 1 point, as Kelly did to Bama in the Natty game. But it was in their own stadium. People are throwing bottles. They're getting technical. Well, not technicals. Probably. I'm sure there was a penalty flag here or there. I heard there were fines that were thrown out too. And then Kelly does the nasty, leaving Notre Dame just as the fourth way experience here is telling us, got his little side chick, i.e. LSU. After the Stanford win, we're going to a New Year's Six bowl. I said to the doc, I said, if he had his LSU meetings, but had stuck it out through the season, kept that under a hat, gone through, and we won the Fiesta Bowl with Kelly. And then after the game, he says, all right, I think I'm done here at Notre Dame. I'm going to the higher table, i.e. the SEC, to LSU. I would have a completely different opinion about how he left. And it's like, oh, okay, you finally, you're leaving on good terms. You leave with a win. You get a New Year's Six bowl on your resume. You get the New Year's Six monkey off of Notre Dame's back, and you give that, that win to the players you coached, right, who have been in your system for all these years. I would have a completely different opinion about Kelly in how he left. Now, to the fourth way experience and any of our other listeners, if you want to hear some fun that's very Kelly focused, go to episode 5. It's the 5th episode I ever did. And it's something about like putting Brian Kelly under the microscope or something to that effect. Okay. And I go deep into Kelly and I rip into him. Now, this was right before the 2020 season began, right? So all this stuff we just mentioned didn't exist yet. But I really put him under the microscope, compared him to Holtz, and people were like, "Oh, Kelly's the winningest coach of all time." I'm like, that's such a bullshit thing to say, just because he was there for so long, and the season is as long as it is now, because it was never like that. And then around that time of Kelly's departure, right before that Fiesta Bowl where Marcus Freeman has to coach, there's the immediate reaction show where Red Snapper's on the phone with me. I didn't even have the mixer and the setup we have now. I just had the microphone and the phone like up next to the microphone, and so it's picking up the speaker, right? So that was a fun show. And then when Marcus Freeman was hired, the reaction show, we weren't live yet. So all sorts of fun stuff was going on there. And it's kind of just more regular podcasting. It's just me talking or me and Red Snapper on the phone. Then X or Twitter, right, starts doing the space thing. And then we start expanding out to the wider audience that we have now. So if you want some fun throughout the week, and you want to listen to some stuff, it's very stat heavy, a lot of numbers, especially in that episode 5. Go back in the archives. It's there. You'll find it. And check it out. Cool. All right.
Yeah, and just to comment on that, the way he left, it was like he was closing on a home, and the money was with title, and he had, it's just like I don't see how with LSU in the contract it was you have to abandon your program a week before the bowl game. I feel like negotiations could have been a little bit better. I don't believe LSU was most likely in a bowl. I don't even know, but I doubt he coached or helped him in any way. It was just very rude.
Complete lack of integrity.
Yeah,
complete lack of follow.
Didn't he also peel out of the parking lot?
Oh, I don't know about that. I called him a piece of shit.
He did, but he left at 5:00 in the morning. You can see the Tesla at 5:00 in the morning. He didn't peel out.
I cheated on you. I'm taking full custody, and I'm taking half. See you later. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah. We do now know that the night before he had played golf and got pretty liquored up, and let the news slip that he was leaving.
Interesting.
That he had talked to LSU and pretty much solidified everything, and then they called him while he was at Merriweather's and said, "Hey, you got the job." And so he excused himself to take a phone call, and that was it.
Wow.
So he had gotten drunk the night before and let it slip to most of his assistants.
Wow. That's crazy, man. Crazy stuff. Well, he's gone. He's LSU's problem now. And I think LSU fans are starting to realize that everything we told them about BK is true. They are now realizing and admitting, hey, Notre Dame fans, you were right. Everything you said about this guy is true. And it's like,
yeah, we're simpatico now. Simpatico now. They're in the acceptance stage of the grief stage. That's good.
I love it. Yeah, we should get that going out. Someone with a graphics degree or something. What is it? The 7 stages of grief or whatever, and just say, "Hey, LSU fans, you are here," and circle, the
have a long running poll and see how many
the acceptance. LSU fan, yeah. Let's get a poll on Twitter. LSU fans, are you here with, I'm at the anger stage. I'm at the, oh gosh. I'm going to do that. All right. Twitter poll. Stages of grief. Oh man, this is going to be great. Okay. Mac, you've requested to speak. I'm trying to bring you on. Let's talk about punting, or not.
Just so you guys know, your invites are delayed by about a minute.
No, I'm also hitting Twitter here, and it's like lagging on me. I don't know. Mac, hurry up! 5 minutes, and then we're gonna cut this off.
Hey, how are you?
Sick.
Yeah, I can tell. I'm sorry. Anyway, I just wanted to say one thing about Kelly. You guys said he'd go to the NFL. There's no way. His personality would not. He could not coach grown men. He can't yell at them and treat them the way he does at the NFL. I don't think his personality would be able to go to the NFL.
I agree. I think I think he's too much of a red ass or whatever and too much of a controlling dick that I just don't see that being successful. Well, that's like what Saban was doing when he went to Miami, right? Like I read a number of articles about this, and like, why was he not successful at in the pros? And he was like basically talking to these professional guys the way he would talk to college guys, like do you really want to be here? Or something about effort and some of this other shit.
Right.
And on a number of occasions, some of these guys almost like wanted to deck him. It's like you shut the fuck up, okay? I've been in this league for 10 years, doing my shit, getting my ass kicked, working my ass off, okay? And you're questioning my level of effort? Go
Absolutely.
fuck yourself, okay?
Right. He couldn't like, for a guy. There's a guy on the Niners, Trent Williams. He doesn't practice. He wouldn't be able to deal with that. Kelly. Right. Now Shanahan will say, "Oh, he's dealing with a toe." We all know he's had a toe for 4 years. So, but also Trent Williams is the best left tackle in the game, and he's 36 years old. Kelly wouldn't be able to handle that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out to the Sacramento alumni. I found a bar, Pitch and Fiddle, where everyone meets up, and I had a really good time, and met a lot of, for the first time, met Notre Dame fans in Sacramento. So that was kind of cool.
They're out there. You got to find them, man.
And I did, and my wife found that out, and had a great time. Also, you guys were talking about Kelly. I don't know if you remember that day, but it was Notre Dame was playing at Stanford, his last game.
Yes.
And Alabama was losing that whole game. And if Alabama loses, Notre Dame would have snuck into the playoffs.
Okay.
I was sitting in with the kind of like the family section. And as soon as the Alabama game, because they had to come back, went final, there was such a dejection and I heard people saying the season's over. And also I was watching just demeanor of Kelly, and he just looked. Now this was Shaw's last game, so they just steamrolled him.
Yeah.
But he just seemed like he checked out in the middle of a game. I just thought, just watching live, that was all.
Yeah.
Anyway, about punting.
I knew it was coming.
There is not a correlation to being in the top 10 and getting a championship. What there is, though, is that there is a correlation to starting field position and winning. So
wait. Say that again. Say that again.
To starting field position,
like down in distance and shit.
Like for example, if you had better field position throughout the game, there's a correlation between that and wins.
And I would say the majority of that is based on the defense, not the special teams flipping the field.
Well, is that what he's saying?
But also offenses.
Because like, are you factoring like turnovers into that, right?
Well, and also your offense not going 3 and out like they did against FSU. I mean, we're lucky in a way. We're lucky FSU just quits. Like, that team just quit.
No, that team just sucks.
But they competed in the first quarter. They competed. They were getting Notre Dame to go 3 and out. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that was my point, is if you have times where your offense is not finding it, and you might go a quarter and a half where you're 3 and out, and you can only kick it to the 40, your 48, and you can't try to, like, that's what I mean. You can have a great defense, but you have to have some way. So a lot of times championship teams have great offenses. So when they do finally hit 4th down and punt, they're punting from their 40, not from their 20. Does that make sense?
So it's not. So what you're saying, it's about you're saying like it's about the discrepancy of starting field position of one team versus their opponent.
And I'm saying, like, with the team that Notre Dame has, right, they need a better punter that would complement their style of game. So, for example, their
give me an
offense
example.
So their offense, like against FSU, they start slow a lot, right? So they don't have great field position in the first half. So if they had a punter with a booming leg, that would help the defense a lot more, is what I'm trying to say. Now, if they had an offense that could get a couple first downs and then had to punt, they wouldn't need as great of a punter. They could suffice with that's what I'm saying. So when they play Penn State or something like that, they are going to struggle because they're not going to have field position. That's
possibly
my theory.
Interesting. Okay. Well, here's the knowledge that the Mac is dropping on us.
Anyway, that's what I meant by with this team who's so defensively heavy. Their special teams, especially their punting, would help. Having a better punter would help. That's all. That's all I had to say on that. But other than that, wow. It's FSU fan has got to be devastated. I mean, that team just quit. I mean, they really did. They were once Notre Dame made it 14-3, and I thought the FSU was competing. God, did they just? I don't know. It was like, oh, here we go. We might as well not even compete. And I didn't see any pride from FSU. I mean, if I'm an FSU fan, man, I am embarrassed. I don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty bad for them. I will say that
they quit. That's the ultimate shame, in my opinion, is when you just quit competing. And I hope because I'm a Niner fan, I hope to God nobody gets drafted to the Niners from FSU, because quitting is a mentality. Hey, quitting's a mentality. It is.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone on my team who's a quitter. That's all. But I hope you feel better.
Thank you,
and hello to everybody. Hello to everybody. How are you all doing? And okay. And also, Joe, watch out for the Sharks. They're young and they're fun to watch.
I understand what Mac's saying as far as field position and everything else. This year, I would say our starting field position for the offense has been more a result of our defense creating short fields with turnovers, turnover margin, and just the fact we're the third scoring defense. So that right there, I think, is what's pushing their offenses back up against their own goal line, which is giving us, whether they punt the ball or it's a turnover on downs, we're getting shorter fields because our defense is absolutely not breaking. So,
and I want to say something, Snapper. If you watch the NIU game, most of the time Notre Dame was starting at the 15?
No, I burned that tape. No.
But they were starting. They were starting at the 15, the 20, and it just was kind of like a punting game. But part of it, and then Notre Dame might get a first down, might get another one, but they never really were moving the ball. That's what I'm saying. If they started the ball at their 48 or 49, well, moving the ball, getting one or two first downs means a field goal attempt. That's what I'm trying. When I was
I agree with you on that.
I mean,
the killer part of it is the best offense is a good defense, and the best defense is a good offense. They're mutually beneficial to each other. So the better the offense does, the better the defense does, and vice versa. The better the defense does, the better the offense does. That's why you win at all three phases of the game. So when you have to punt, you can boom it. So I understand what you're saying. We need to maintain that level of creating the short field on all phases of the game, and having a punter who can boom it 60 yards, obviously is going to be better than one who barely gets it 40 yards.
I mean, I think our problem in that Northern Illinois game was the fact that we ran the ball only 45% of the time. We tried turning Riley Leonard into a pocket passer. He's clearly not. We've learned some mistakes since then, And it's like, whoa, he's not, and he amassed a whopping 123 yards. We had 286 the total in the whole game. You know, I mean, the defense held Northern Illinois to 16 points. You know, that's not insurmountable. It's the offense inability, and our rushing was not good. But I also think, like, look, if we only ran the ball, 28 attempts. Okay, it's the lowest all season. Okay, that it's been compared to this last game. We ran it 32 times, past 30 times. Previous game 40 times rushing versus 25. Like the offense was so bad. I don't think necessarily field position was the problem, Mac. And the reason why I say that is third down percentage. Notre Dame was 3 of 10. We've performed worse on third down. Like take Louisville, for example, 20% on third down, 16%, 2 of 12 down in Kyle Field. Okay. 33% versus Georgia Tech, right? So third down, and the inability to move forward as an offense and the inability to be successful is really what I think drove that.
Yeah, I would have to agree. The punting comment is very Moneyball-esque from that movie and just statistics. If you say we punt on average 4 or 5 times and we can get another 15, 20, 12 yards out of the punt, then yes, that might back them up, and they just a little bit more daunting, and it behooves us. And then you play the field position, and now we're 30 yards closer to a field goal once or twice. So yes, it's a valid point as far as statistics and football being a game of inches, without a doubt.
Indeed. All right, gentlemen, I think that's it. We're approaching the 2-hour mark, and my voice is gonna stop, and I do have to go to work tomorrow. At least I'm planning to. That's it. Appreciate everybody. Don't really have a whole lot on Virginia. We should kill them. It probably won't be as much of a killing as the Seminoles was. That team sucks. Virginia is better. But right now they're sitting at a 5-4 record, so they do have a winning record.
And they just beat a top 25 team in Pittsburgh.
I guess, but I mean, it's fucking Pittsburgh. What that team just gives me anxiety.
They were ranked higher than Army.
I guess, okay, but these are the same people that still believe that LSU should be ranked. Okay, so I mean, it's flawed. Okay. So
Fivers, you got your hand up. Get in there quick.
No.
Yes, actually, I'm going. I was supposed to speak after Luis all those hours ago, and I've been waiting very patiently.
You've been on mute. You could have just unmuted yourself.
Just unmute and speak.
I don't like to interrupt people, okay?
Well, your reward will be great in heaven. What do you want?
Well, all I have to say now is because all the stuff I want to say has already been said. But what I want to say is when you're there in person, the jerseys look so much better than they do on television. I haven't been to a night game in a few years, and what you just see them shining and now with the gold monograms on the sleeves as well.
Okay, yeah.
And also, it's funny how people there was an officer came in and was yelling at people a few rows in front of me about standing up. And then the basketball coach came out and said, "I need everyone to stand up," and then we never saw him again. So that was funny. Yeah.
Nice. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. Fivers, appreciate that. Yeah, no, the stadium experience is good. I think Notre Dame is doing a good job with that. I think we just need it to continue to be a loud and rowdy environment where people are encouraged to stand. Can
Notre Dame make the end zones standing only section?
I've been saying that for years. Okay, start small, have little sections in the end zones.
If you're between goal line to goal line,
that's what I'm saying.
There's your seating.
Yeah.
If it's end zone, standing.
Yeah, that's right. That's my thought, because that's where the noise is. That's where you're going to generate. Have it at both ends, and it's on your ticket. You have a little thing that says FYI, you're in a standing encouraged section. So most of the time, if you want to stand, this is the place to go. All right. And that'll force, the wine and cheese crowd to go sit somewhere else. Okay. And we won't have assholes, telling Craig to sit down, or people pushing me and Red Snapper like at the Stanford game, that we're in the wrong seats apparently. So,
but these are my seats, man. Let me see your ticket. Let me see your ticket.
Gosh, I'll show you my ticket. We're all in the wrong spot. All right. So you go pound sand. All right. That's a story, for another time. Obviously, well, it's actually already on tape. It's out there on the show. It's the reaction show. The after Stanford, what was that? Georgia Tech? Yeah, the pre-Georgia Tech show. So go check that out. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Rest in peace, Gerry Faust, and go Irish, and let's beat the hell out of the Cavaliers.
The Cavaliers.
Take them out. Take them out. Back to the back of the woodshed. Uh, 140 episodes, man.
That's awesome. That's just awesome.
It's a long time.
One thing I want to add, after the pick six, the stadium was doing the tomahawk chop.
Oh, yes.
Dude, I saw that.
I did see that.
I was like, what?
I was like,
so funny.
Such a troll job. I love it.
I mean, FSU fans were good sports about it, though. So.
Well, sure. If they were still there, good for them.
Yeah.
All right.
What else are you gonna do? They're in the middle of Indiana.
Yeah.